Okay, welcome to, I think it's 9th Visual Basic tutorial. This one's actually going to be different to the others, because it's not going to actually be teaching you coding, but more, it's one of those ones where you do a bit of everything else, which is important, and helps you, and if you're doing exams, teaches you the real words, and what these things are called, or if you're not, tuning up your code. Okay? When you create a project, you can either do that button which went over says new project, or create project. Create project I just prefer for some, because it's not a small weird icon up there. And then there are some different types of applications. There's a class library which .dll files for like extras, which is a bit advanced. WPF, which is which is like a nice looking version of Windows Form applications, and an internet version of Windows Form applications. Then there's also a console application, which if you don't want to make a GUI or a GUI, as some people call it, you can just create a text-based application. It's in console application. Okay. Form all our things should be a Windows Form application, which is the one on the very left. You can click it and go and type in a name and press OK. Come on. Also, the green button here is called debug, or start debugging. What that means is it compiles it, and now compiling is where it changes machine code which you've made and have designed here into computer code, which is often binary. For you that don't know what binary is, it is like this. It is a load of zeros and ones, like that, and that could make a red dot on the screen somewhere. No? Okay, sorry about that. And then that binary shows something on the computer screen, such as that yellow thing there could be out 10 lines of binary. So it's easier to use stuff like Visual Basic, Java, C++, C, name it. There were others then after binary, hexadecimal and octal, which were like binary, but instead of 2-bit, it was for hexadecimal, bit 16, which was all the numbers 0 to 9, and then the letters A to F, and they all represented different numbers. And that was quite hard, and so was octal, where they used stuff like, it was up to 8, so 7. But it wouldn't go over 8. After you got to 8, you would go back to 1 or 0, 1 or whichever one you really prefer. Visual Basic software is what's known as an IDE. That's an integrated development environment. A compiler is like an integrated development environment, except, like the command prompt, it's just plain text. Like for some software, this is what you need, and you type it in. Type in the code. Okay, it's not really very codey, and then it compiles it. Like the basic Python one is a bit more of a, where is it? Like this is a bit more of a compiler more than an IDE. It is still an IDE, except it's not really an IDE. It doesn't really have many things on it. Oh well, talking nonsense. Oh well. But with Python, this is just a plain compiler, because it's not a big thing with all these fancy buttons up here. It's just that and you press enter, it compiles. If it can't, it waits, or sends out an error message immediately. Okay. When we are doing our code, it is always in between the code saying private sub and end sub. Private sub means it will only be available for this class to use. And all of this just basically means when button gets clicked, do what's in this sub. In other languages, these things are called functions or methods. The public class form 1 and end class is the form 1. Subs have to end with end sub, and public class form 1 or form 2 or whatever form you have always has to end with end class. If not, it doesn't work. And also, as I said, all code goes in between in one of the subs. Later, when we are doing stuff like new forms, you press that button there, add new item, and that comes up with about boxes, VB classes, basic text files for notes, a basic Windows form, parent form, modules, splash screen, text files. I've already said text files, login forms, databases, and loads of other stuff. Okay, I kind of think that's it really for this one. Alright, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also go on my website. At the moment, it's just a rubbish gaming website, but I promise you it will get better. That's because you're reading this in like 2011, which I kind of hope you're not. Okay, bye.